Alright, today I'm gonna be doing a tier list of this fucking human fighters in Ninja Turtles. These are all well, most of the human fighters I did exclude Baxter Stockman because he isn't really considered a fighter. He's kind of one of those scientists. He just kind of does all the shit in the brain. He's kind of like Riddler. He's basically the Donnie side for Shredder. He's a Shredder slave scientist. He has like one episode where he fights the turtles, but that's like the only episode where he fights them, and he's like in a big ass, futuristic looking ass, fridge. It's basically a big fat ass mech, and he does quite fuck him up, but that's only one episode really, and that's it. He doesn't ever fight them ever again actually on his own. Before mutation, by the way. This is all just strictly all human fighters. As you can see, we have like a bunch of people. We have this guy who's basically like, the second best in my opinion in this show, and then we have big Russian man built like fridge. Ivan, we have basically pretty much all the human fighters, including like even little ants like this guy, the gunman for the Italian mob boss dude. I already forgot his name, Don Vizioso, and like the Fuck Clan and shit. So yeah, we're just gonna be ranking them in terms of like how good their fighting skill is, and shit. First off, we have April. Now April, at first she's just a bit of a shit human. I'm not gonna lie. I might put her hair. Yeah, she's, listen, she was grand enough. She's able to deal with the foot ninja on her. When she was, like, fighting the bots, I looked at one clip before her fighting the bots. She's able to deal with them, actually, quite alright. And I was thinking, if she's able to deal with those foot bots, she's able to deal with the clang, she's able to deal with the regular human foot bots, I'd put her at least here, because even though she's able to take down foot bots and shit, that's really all about she's able to do. I think I did see her fighting the mutants a couple of times, but compared to other human fighters, she's not really as good as them, unless it's Ivan or the Fuck Clan or these guys. These are like the only ones she'd really be better than. But other than that, I think this is like a pretty fair ranking for her. Next one up is Bradford. Now where would I put Bradford? I feel like I'd put where would I put Bradford? Maybe Bradford here, actually. Bradford, he's pretty good because Bradford, when he first arrives, bro, he fucks up all the turtles. I swear, when they were first fighting him, they could not land a single hit on him. It was so hard for him. He was able to catch Leo's sword, and he's able to, take out two turtles at once. He's able to, fucking dive up off the ground as like a fucking rocket and then dive into the ground, face planting two turtles at the same time. It was really hard for them to actually land a hit on Bradford. He's also been trained by, Shredder, so yeah, he's got like expert fighting skills from the man himself. So yeah, I'd say he's pretty solid at doing what he does. He's also like does martial arts and shit. He's able to block hits a lot. He's able to see things coming as well. It seems like he's able to read his enemies because he was fighting Mikey and then Leonardo tried to come up on bro and he instantly just like was able to block that shit. So yeah, he's pretty good. He's able to see things coming. It's really hard to sneak upon bro. He's like one of those. He has like fucking eyes in the back of his head or some shit. He's just able to see that shit coming. So next up we have Casey. I feel like Casey will be in a nice middle ground, pretty much. Because Casey, he's not bad. He's actually able to do pretty well against some mutants. He's able to stand his own ground. Bro, when his first introduction, he's fighting Raph. And I'm not gonna lie, he's able to go for a really good moment with Raph. Raph has to, work, kind of, sweat a bit, like he's doing a load of jump tracks or some shit. He has to put in a bit of work for Raph. It's not like a fuck on or a crime where you can just, stab him and that's it. With Casey is just going all around the place doing some unpredictable shit. He's like in a roller rink or some shit because he had like these little Heelys on that had like have these hooks at the end as well. He's just going around Raph, slapping him about the place. He's able to make Raph work for it before Raph nearly pinned him down as well to skewer his fucking brains out with his side. But yeah, he's also pretty good. He's able to, do pretty well against the Krang. He's able to do pretty well against the Fuck Clan. He's able to actually survive a bit as well with Zever, with Tiger Claw before he just got fucking sent down off the building and put in the, basically he just got like, fucked up and injured. So yeah, he's able to really last pretty long. I'd say he might even be like better than April because like his improvised weapons and shit, he's pretty good at that. And also he got his get back with Hun. In that one episode when he's fighting Hun, he actually managed to, dive into him and managed to save the day by bombing the whole factory. Hun was fucking him up that whole episode though, yeah. So at the very bottom, the first boys who like to eat shit, the Fuck Clan. The Fuck Clan are basically the punching bags for the Ninja Turtles. Every time they show up, it's basically they're just showing up at the gym to be, boxing bags because they always seem to get bet up by the Turtles. They can never really, land a hit on any of the Turtles, or maybe they can, but they seem to just never be able to take down the Turtles. The only time they're really able to, kind of make the turtles work for it is when they became footpots. Because when they became footpots, they were like they basically just got an upgrade. They got an upgrade where basically they had like a load of weapons up their ass. Like they had the Minecraft inventory full of like blades and shit. They're just like popping out of their back, like Slenderman popping out his tentacles. And they're able to also adapt. So like basically they're able to read the Ninja Turtles fighting styles, and they're able to counter that shit. And you have to basically fight like unpredictable, so they can't like read your shit. But then they'll eventually be able to read those fighting skills as well. So yeah, but we're not talking about the footballs. We're talking about the humans. The human ones, even though they're ninjas, they're still pretty shit. The next one up we're gonna get is Hatso. I'd say Hatso is probably the second best human fighter in the show. I can't lie. I put him above Bradford because Hatso, he's also pretty solid. He's like that. He's insane. Actually, when he showed up, he was blind and he was able to sense the turtles coming from like a mile away. He was fucking up everyone in the show. In the episode, in episode he was fighting like Karai. Even when she went into snake mode and just straight fucking attack her with her snake hands, he still was dodging her. He's dodging like every hit. The only reason they're able to take him down is when Leo, basically like fucking squeezed his neck and I think he like got deaf or some shit. I don't know what Leo did to him. It's like he disabled his hearing senses and Hatso couldn't like hear anything. And that's the only way they're really able to take him down. Before that, he was fucking up everyone. Not a single turtle was able to land a hit on him. And like even Raphael, who loves fighting, who loves beating the shit out of people, by the way. Even he says, yo, it's like fighting the Shredder, because it is. He can be quite quick. I'm not gonna lie. Like he would probably be, the second best in the show. Hun, I'd probably put him like maybe above. Maybe here, actually, just above Bradford, though. I don't know. I feel like I need more roads, but at the same time, I feel like I also have enough. Hun, he was pretty good as well. When he was fighting a Casey, he was basically toying around with Casey. He literally cracked his nuts open with a hockey puck and, made Casey cry about it. And then later on, even when Casey tried to go at him, he was just like kind of social distancing. He's using his legs like a restraining order by just constantly kicking Casey back and, just keeping him at bay pretty much. Even when Casey just unloaded all his hockey pucks on Hun just licked that shit like it was an Oreo or something. And he just went and attacked Casey. Casey, he really only managed to like land one hit on him when he just charged straight into him like rugby tackle. But other than that, Hun was fucking around with Casey like his little son pretty much. He was able to, take Casey on. There's also an episode where he's taking on Mondo, Gecko, and like Mikey. And Mikey's supposed to be a ninja and all. And, they could not land a single hit on him. He's able to fight two people at once. So yeah, for a purple dragon, man, he's probably the only capable purple dragon. Like he's like the dad pretty much, and all the rest of the purple dragons are like little toddlers. They cannot do anything. Oh yeah, I forgot to include purple dragons. Shit. There we go. The little man was invited to the party. Okay. Yeah, I actually completely forgot about the purple dragons. I'm not gonna lie. They'd probably be here, but I'll get to them when I get to them. Next up we have is Karai. Shit, I kind of made a mistake here because I put I might need to make another row. Let's just add a row above Z. ZDD. There we go. Let's call this like fucking, I don't know, or for retard. Anyways, I probably, let's just move him up here. And shit. I don't know. I kind of like, she would be. I might. I don't like, because Karai, when she was fighting Hun was kind of treating her like she was his daughter or something, and he just could never land a hit on him. I'd probably put her here. She probably would be better than Bradford and Zever, because she was like kind of Shredder's in command. She's like Shredder's daughter pretty much. She's getting like this special training tips off of like Shredder. And she's also able to go pretty like, round for round with Leo. I'd say she's pretty much equal with Leo when it comes to fighting skills. And, Leo and at the start when they were fighting Bradford, they're also kind of struggling. But then towards later on in the series, the Turtles were also kind of equal. So, like, Leo, the Turtles were also kind of equal, like, Bradford and, like, Zever. So, I'd say she'd be here. Like, because she's also pretty good at fighting. She's also pretty, flexible. She's able to, jump a lot. And she's able to, she got to the point where she nearly killed the Turtles, but she just kind of, let Leo go. She's also could be quite deceptive and shit. She just kind of gets fucked around by people like Hun and, other people above her like that. But yeah, she does know how to use a sword. a lot, and there's a reason she leads the fuck clan. But yeah, I'd say she's just on the same level as Leo, pretty much. Next up, we have the Shredhead, the human blender himself. It's pretty obvious. He's the best human fighter in this entire show. Also, he is a bit of a pussy though, because he does need to hide behind his armor and all his little blades, like they're his life force or something. Because without, like, it is kind of just saying, like, I could just say, oh, without those he'd be shit, but that's just like saying, I don't know, without his nunchucks, Mikey would be shit. Like, what is he gonna use? Pizzas, like frisbees, and throw at people? Just kind of not fair. It's kind of like his thing, like, how Hatso is kind of like being blind and hearing shit from a mile away and using a sword. That's kind of like his thing as well. He's like the only person that's able to go round for round with Splinter, and maybe sometimes I even beat him. Round for round with him, and sometimes I even beat him, is Splinter, the giant rat man. He's the only person that that in the show was always able to fight him, or actually land some proper hits on him. Maybe even sometimes send him flying away with like the double finger blaster move, where he just like pokes Shredder and just sends Shredder flying away like it was a shockwave or something. Yeah, that was like the only guy that was able to take on Shredder. This guy is crazy. He's also able to like take on mutants. He's able to take on like Leatherhead, who's a big fat ass crocodile. It was like munching on him for quite a bit, but then Shredder was just like outmaneuvering him the fuck. He's also pretty speedy as well. He's a really fast guy. Leatherhead could not land a single hit on him or anything. He's able to fuck up a giant mutant that was like 3 times his size. So yeah, this guy, he's pretty insane, and he nearly killed the turtles. Can my laptop please just fuck off? I wish I had a PC, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, like when he first met the turtles, he pretty much like nearly fucked them up. But he could have killed them if he wanted to. If he didn't get distracted by his men getting, turned into dog pound and fish face by the alien by the alien mutagen. So yeah, he nearly killed the turtles first round as well, first meeting him. Like, this guy, he is not to be fucked with. So yeah, next up we have is Ivan. Ivan's a bit shit, I can't lie. In his human form, this is talking about Ivan in his human form. You don't really get to see much of Ivan in his human form, to be honest. Most of the time spent with him in his human form is just him in his little base. He's like, oh yes, Zack, get me a helmet and I will forgive you for removing my eyeball and putting in jewelry in there. Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He doesn't really do much in terms of fighting. There is like one fight scene where he's like in the episode where they're hunting for Karai. He's there trying to shoot Karai, and the turtles there like trying to hit him and all. He manages to send Raph flying with his fucking Russian knuckle dusters and put like a Russian logo on Raph's forehead, and he's able to wallop fucking Mikey. He gave him like the battle beast to Marg treatment. He like done a combo on him, just walloped him away. But other than that, yeah, he seems pretty shit. I can't lie. He doesn't really seem like that great of a fighter. So yeah, I'd say maybe even April might be better than him. I don't know. It's pretty close, because like Ivan also does have big fucking minigun. He can spread everyone apart with like his minigun and just like kill people like that. But I'd say maybe even April's better than Ivan, because Ivan doesn't really seem to have any fighting skill. He really just relies on like brute strength and his weapons, and that's pretty much it. Where would I put this guy? I'd maybe put this guy above Casey, because he has like a big fat ass mech, but that's really the only thing that he kind of has going for him. Without that mech, he really only has a hammer, and you don't really get to see him fight outside of his mech. Like he managed to sweep Donnie's legs underneath him and nearly bonked him on the head like his head was a nail, and he was using a hammer. But that's about it, really. In his mech, he's actually kind of, fucking shit up. He's able to take on the mutants for quite a bit. But then when the mutants decide to put their brains together and work together, they're able to take on the hammer quite easily. The hammer, he doesn't really seem to know what the fight as well. He's just sort of just like, swinging his hammer around, just wildly, just like, why not? And he also has like a lot of rockets on him as well. So yeah, I'd probably put him like there. Casey, I feel like would be able to last a long time against him, but in his mech and shit, I feel like Hammer would beat Casey eventually. So yeah, these guys next up, they're probably like the worst human enemies. Maybe even like probably better than the Purple Dragons. Actually, Purple Dragons would probably be worse than the human enemies. The Purple Dragon's like the weakest people in this show, but yeah, these guys, they don't really do much. They don't it doesn't even seem like they know how to fight. They just use a gun, and that's it. It's like pew 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 pew, and then they're just dead, because the turtles can just easy beat the shit out of them, anything. And yeah, they're probably one of the weaker ones in this show. No, Zever, I'd probably put him here actually. This is probably like the middle. This would be like the middle row for like, these guys would be like, pretty good, but they're not like elite fighters like these guys as well. I'm not even sure if Zever and like Bradford would be able to beat Hun. Because Hun, he's quite tricky. The Turtles were not able to, catch him one bit. Karai or Mikey or Mondo were not able to catch him like one bit. No, he's a fucking little slippery eel. This guy is. But yeah, Zever, when he first appeared in the episodes, he's actually quite good at fighting, bro. He's able to use those legs like he was born to use them or something. He's able to fight with them. He's using his legs as if they're like his own arms, like his like monkey legs or whatever, like hands at the bottom instead of just feet. Because he's able to take on the turtles quite a bit. He's able to like grab one of them and just like kind of fling him around with his tails. He's able to do splits in mid-airs, bro. He can really spread, and he's able to kick both turtles away at the same time. This guy is so durable and shit. His arms must be made from steel, or he must have some like, I don't know, like bulletproof skin or something, because Donnie whacked him with a stick and he's able to block that and it didn't even hurt him or anything. He's able to take on like Raph and Donnie both at the same time. So yeah, he's pretty good when it comes to like kicking. He also has a little switchblade, scumbag switchblade that he also has come in handy. So yeah, he also never really seems to back down from a fight at all. So next up we have is Zek. I probably put him here as well. Actually, I'd say, would Zek be? Nah. I feel like in terms of these mid-tier fighters, I'd be like Zek would be like in the middle, because there is like an episode where Shredder sends Zek and Bebop to go hunt for Karai, and then Zeki ends up being able to take out Donnie, ends up being able to air thrust his lasers at Donnie, and he manages to stun them, and he's also pretty tricky to hit as well. He's a slippery eel. This guy, the way he acts is if he just like covered in butter or some shit. He's just super hard to like hit and all. He's really good at dodging, and his technology is pretty sick as well, and kind of OP. He's able to turn invisible and all. The only people that would really be able to spot Zek when he's invisible is probably like Tire Claw and like Razar, because they have like a cute sense of smell, so they'd be able to sniff bro out. Like he doesn't even have to fire and they'd be able to smell him out immediately. So yeah, but he is pretty solid. I feel like him and Casey would be a pretty good match. I'm not gonna lie, that would be a good matchup. But his only weakness is that he talks so much like like I think he might be a parody of Michael Jackson or some shit, because he's like probably a really big Mikey villain in the show. He's probably one of the most Mikey villains in there. He's able to take out Fishface as well for a bit, who's this guy pretty much mutated with a fish that has robo legs. But he did also then get whacked away. So like yeah, he's like a decent fighter, I'd say. And then next up we has is this guy over here, the Purple Dragons. They're always getting clamored by the Turtles. They're always getting slapped about the place. They're probably one of the easiest ones to go for. Maybe like I don't know who'd be fucking easier to go against, because these guys have guns. These guys have range. I'd say maybe I put him above him, because these guys, they don't really seem to know how to fight. But these guys kind of have some fighting ability, I guess. But yeah, I'd probably put the ninjas above these two, because the turtles, they seem to have to actually work, for the ninjas. The ninjas actually put up somewhat of a challenge for the turtles, and there's always like numbers of them as well. But these guys all just like get stopped about. They can never land a hit on the turtles or anything. I also forgot to add another human person. Guess what? It's the two little twins, the two little Italian twins, the guys with basically they're the dudes with the butcher knife and basically with the chef knives. Italiano. Where's this Italian twins? I know one of them is named like Vic. I don't know what the fuck the other guy's name was, like Valerie or some shit. Hey, can my internet work, please? You're slowing down there for no reason. My internet has bipolarism or some shit, because it just one day it decides to work and then other days it decides to work, it doesn't work, and then other days it decides go grab the milk and fuck off from a laptop, because sometimes the logo for the Wi-Fi just disappears and I have to connect my phone or reset everything. Vic and Vincenzo, these guys, yeah. Yeah, I probably put these guys probably here. Yeah, they're probably low. They're kind of Low tier. Why is there just ads everywhere, mate? I'm getting attacked by ads all directions. Getting gangbanged by advertisements here. But anyways, yeah, I probably put them here in mid tier because I'd say they would be better fighters than the purple dragons and these guys, because these guys, when they're fighting the turtles, they're actually able to keep the turtles distracted for a while, and they're able to put up, a bit of a decent fight against the turtles. Even though with what they're working with, but basically they just have like, big chef knives and big butcher knives. They're not in the kitchen cooking up, salami or anything. They're trying to cook up the turtles. So yeah, they're able to make the turtles work for quite a little bit, but they're still kind of shit as well. So yeah, I feel like this would be a fitting position for them. Not as good as like Ivan, because when Ivan, the big Russian fridge guy, he's able to wallop two of the turtles. That's something. None of these guys were ever able to wallop any of the turtles ever. But yeah, I'd say she probably does have better fighting skills than all of these. And do I need to make any more changes? I'd say actually, yeah, this is grand. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Hun would be better than these guys as well. So yeah, that was pretty much my ranking of all the all the human titles, bro. All the human fighters, pretty much in Ninja Turtles 2012, before mutation, before like April got her bullshit psychic powers. By the way, how did she get those powers? I can't even remember. I think it was like in her like the whole time, but then it just got stronger over time. She just like turned into a Marvel character with just like the ability to just and just send you flying just like that with her mental ability. I don't know, it's just a bit of ignoring bullshit in my opinion. But yeah, that's my ranking with all the human fighters. I think these are pretty good positions to put them in. But yeah, see you later.